Okay, it's time to go. I've been waiting to do this all day, but your boy is doing math. Fun fact. Did you know that all math is garbage? Because we could just make computers do half of it. Just spent 45 minutes doing one question on regression math. And I'm just like, I can make a program do this. I have a program on my computer I could make do this. In 30 seconds. I hate it. I hate it oh so much. But that's behind us. That's behind me. And what's ahead of us now is this mono red deck. There we go. That I'm pretty excited about. 17 lands. This is for multiple reasons. As I mentioned in the draft video, kind of operating on the assumption that the arena shuffler is messed up. But more than that, I like the 17 lands because we have a lot of 3-drops. And we also have a lot of stuff happening for 1 mana. We have 5 1-drops and then also 3 Boulder Rushes on our Rimrock Knights. So getting to 4 mana pretty reliably is pretty good for us because the difference between dropping a Ferocity of the Wilds and dropping a Ferocity of the Wilds and having access to Rimrock Knight or Boulder Rush or Barge In is massive, right? Plus we have 2 red cap melees, which means it's spewing off a red cap melee and not spewing it off, but hitting an important target. We don't have to worry about our lands too much because we know that we have 17 and we only have to hit lands. We don't have to worry about color. So, and then we got 2 very powerful 5-drops that'll be nice to get to. So yeah, that's the reason we're running a lot of mountains. If this was paper, I would run 16, but because it's arena, I'm running 17. Let's play. Let's do this. So, keeping in mind that 2 lands tend to have mana screw, 4 lands tend to have mana flood, 3 is the sweet spot, and mulliganing fixes everything. We'll see this 3 land and we'll pretty happily take it. We don't have 2 mana or 2-drops, which is unfortunate. This is pretty slow. I might actually mulligan this, because this doesn't seem all that good, unfortunately. Kind of glutted at the 3-drop slot. Well, this actually seems fine. We don't have a lot of 2-drops in our deck. Which might be the one greatest weakness of this mono red deck, is that it has very few 2-drops. Either we use one of our Rimrock Knights, which we'll totally be willing to do, but we only have 3, or we use one of our 2 Jousting Dummies. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, if I have 1 Blood Haze Wolverine in the sideboard, I might swap out one of my 2 red cap Raiders for it, because that's probably better to have a 2-drop there. Whoops, wasn't thinking. Alright. So, no 2-drop, unfortunately, which is kind of concerning. Hence my thought that maybe we're missing out on some 2-drops. But, we'll see, we're not under a ton of pressure right now. Raging red cap, okay. Sure. 2 damage. Play our mountain. Play the Red Cap Raiders. Next turn we can play Brimstone Trebuchet. We can tap it for Red Cap Raiders. Turn after this we can ooh, it's a good target for our our ogre or our red cap melee. So play out the mountain. Play the trebuchet. Go to combat. Swing. Tap that down. If they offer the trade, which I assume they won't, we can barge in. If they don't, we can save red cap melee for the ogre errant. Interesting. Merchant of the Veil. Okay. Be really surprised if they don't just full swing. Okay, yeah. Makes sense. No blockers. Red cap melee the ogre errant. And we don't even sack a land because it's a red creature. Go down to 10. Probably just pretty happily play out Sirkara right now. Sirkara allows us to start drawing cards every turn, an extra card every turn, which is pretty good. What would we do if we didn't do that? Probably remove something with Scorching Dragonfire. That's also pretty good. I think we'll play the Raging Red Cap, because then we can tap the Raging Red Cap for Red Cap Raiders and keep the Brimstone Trebuchet up, which can block either of these or that, you know. So ultimately we're in a better spot, and then we can also remove something. So, take the aggressive approach, tap that down. This also opens up the possibility of us using Raging Red Cap Barge in next turn for like a really explosive play. Opponent's got one card in hand. So yeah, like either they pay 5 mana to tap down my Trebuchet, which doesn't seem great, but if it's the only thing they can do, it's the only thing they do. Because of course we'll tap in response, so that means they only have 1 mana this turn. Okay. It will probably destroy the Red Cap Raiders. It has the Raging Red Cap. It has probably the most upside. Or it has the most potential to blow us out, at least. Because if they have like bargains and stuff, which they probably do, because their deck seems to be somewhat aggressive, that could really screw us up. Let me just check to see if we have lethal this turn. So, if we tap, pretty sure we do, because if we tap this to make this a 4, and then we give this 2/2, it does. Yeah. We don't even have to do that, actually, just to be safe. So we can tap that down, play this, untaps that, go to combat, tap this sucker down, 4 first strike damage is dealt. Oops. For a minute there I thought there was something wrong. I was like, why can't I target this creature? So that'll deal. Yeah, bring him in a 6, and then with a regular attack step we will deal the remaining 7. Okay. The deck wasn't as explosive as I wanted, but it kind of played out how I wanted once I got to my mana. But I do want to take out the Raging Red Cap for... Oh, I thought I did have a Bloodhaze Wolverine. I really don't. Yeah, unfortunately, since we were drafting Boros until near the very end, we almost have no other red cards to put in. I don't think Crystal Slipper's all that good. Probably just rather have the Red Cab Raiders. Oh well. That's fine. Our opponent's deck was not super threatening. Our opponent will be on the play again. Well, that's no good. Even in an aggro deck, a 1-lander is just not acceptable. We will mulligan that. This seems totally fine. The only real question is, do I actually want to bottom and land off this, considering I have a few 3-drops? And we're on the draw. I think when we're on the draw, the answer is yes. Because we have a fairly high chance in 3 draws. I think we have a good shot at it. We do have 2 drops if things don't work out. But I'm fully expecting things to work out. Okay, we're just going to play out our Rimrock Knight. If we hit our mana, we can play a Raging Red Cap. If we don't hit our mana, we can either play a Rimrock Knight or we can play a Boulder Rush or a Bargain. Depends. We're currently about just under 50% to hit our land. So it's not in our favor, but it's not by much that it's out of our favor. Against our favor? I'm not sure how. Oh. Charm Sleep. Wow. Charm Sleep on a Rimrock Knight. Jeez. I guess. Okay. I guess I didn't really see much better out of our deck, to be fair, but still. Okay. Missed our land drop. Not ideal, but we'll just play out another 2-drop and we'll see what the Muffin Man does. Probably a little late, but it's not too bad. I think we'll offer the trade with the Rimrock Knight here. Because with their current board, if they really have no other creatures to be playing, I'm kind of happy to play the Raging Redcap into this. Raging Redcap, of course, having first strike, it does way better with something like, you know, Rimrock Knight or Barge in. The Lock Dragon is a very good card, but our opponent has kind of played a slow game, and I think we're going to try really punishing them for that now. So we're going to offer a trade. And I think we will just Boulder Rush the Raging Redcap here to push 6 damage through on our opponent, and then also we can, you know, use our mana efficiently because we can also play Hengewalker this turn. So we put a 3/3 into play. So play a 3/3. Nothing exciting, but it does get the job done. See what's coming out of the opponent right now. Another Lock Dragon, holy shit. It's pretty good. Got a lot of decent card selection. Okay. So they are still like it is a draw 2 deck, they're just kind of like a more aggressive one. Well, we're going to attack once again. We have Barge in, so whatever they block, if they want to trade with the Hengewalker, that's not going to work. If they want to trade with the Redcap, that's also not going to work. If they want to let it through, that's fine. I can hold on to Barge in to put on my Raging Redcap when it steals a game, you know? Whenever it becomes the most useful next. These are two very powerful cards, but they don't really make a deck. Okay. We will go ahead and Barge in our Raging Redcap. Also gives it trample too, so a lot of damage is still going to go through. So we're about to bring him down to 7. And we will also play our Rimrock Knight. It's got a lot of damage, or threatening a lot of damage. We can kill at least one of their blockers. Oh, well, they do get to bounce one of our creatures. Alright, this works for me. I think I want our opponent to see as little of their deck as possible. Well, actually. If I'm being honest, I don't mind if the Lock Dragon attacks. Yeah, if they attack and they want to rummage, that is fine, because then I can use the Scorching Dragonfire in conjunction with trading one of my creatures to get rid of the Moonlit Scavenger. And they didn't rummage. Whew. Sirkar the Bold. So we'll push through 3 damage no matter what. And we'll trade one of our 2 creatures, presumably the Hengewalker, as it's strictly a better creature. But they might choose to block the Rimrock Knight because a Barge in will make the Hengewalker survive the scrap, whereas the Rimrock Knight can't survive, and that seems to be what our opponent is thinking. So we'll just go ahead and Scorching Dragonfire. So, not a bad play from the opponent. It makes sense considering what they've seen out of our deck, but it just wasn't what they should have been worried about this time around. Opponent digging for an answer. So presumably they either had something in their hand and that was why they didn't rummage last turn, or they got something else. Another Charm Sleep. Pretty good draw for our opponent. Ferocity of the Wilds is going to make that Raging Redcap dead, though. Or they're going to lose the game. So, and also the trample means that 2 damage is still going to get through on this Raging, even after they block with their own Raging Redcap. So, it's a good draw for us. Better than Sirkara probably this turn. Although not as efficient with our mana. It denies our opponent a resource, so at this stage in the game, the Ferocity of the Wilds kind of acts like a it kind of acts like its own spell, but also a kill spell for our opponent's Raging Redcap. Because if they do not block, they lose the game. So, if it wasn't the case, I would probably have played Sirkara, because it has a stronger effect, and I really want to, get Sirkara out so that I can start tapping. Another Charm Sleep, wow. Good draws from our opponent. They have us on a bit of a clock. I mean, we're pretty good. If they can't deal with Sirkara, they're in trouble, for sure. But, like, if they top decked another, like, Charm Sleep or something, that would be crazy. They're going to draw 2 cards. They're going to try and draw to their outs. Makes sense. They're going to play it. They could play a Charm Sleep. Okay. Got a Brimstone Trebuchet. I would like to tap down, draw a card. Damn. Not what I was hoping for, but we have a blocker in the Brimstone Trebuchet. Fairy Vandal. So that didn't come down with Flash. Thank goodness. Be in a lot more danger if it was already that big. Opt doesn't pump it again, but they do get to draw a card. Potentially they have something here. Sure thing. I have no intention of not blocking, just in case they have like a barge in. Although barge in would have lost me the game there. Alright. Whew. That second game was pretty close. Our opponent just, 3 Charm Sleeps will make a creature deck pretty bad. So, but thankfully we won that game. Let's play another. Those were relatively short games. Off to a strong start. Alright, we will play first. This doesn't seem all that good, unfortunately. We have a 2-drop, granted. We're going first. This is probably okay. We do have 2 lands here, so I'm expecting to get a little screwed, but we just need 1 more to make it a playable hand, and then Sirkara will just cast whenever. I'll keep it. Even with the algorithm all messed up, I figure we'll probably draw a single mountain within, our first however many turns. Well, mill 2 lands and 2 knights. Get our 3rd land drop, though. I'll make the attack here with the Jousting Dummy. If they block with the Merfolk Secret Keeper, we of course can Rimrock to get it over the edge and then just play the Rimrock. Definitely want to get rid of little blockers like this as early as possible, so that on subsequent turns we can really smash our opponent. Mill deck is very strong, but can just maintain a lot of pressure. It presumably doesn't have, infinite spells to spew off. So, we'll make another attack here. Barge in will work on either of the blocks our opponent makes. So we will happily do that. Push some more damage through. And keep our creatures alive. We can also play Redcap Raiders. So just playing out our hand, just putting constant pressure on our opponent. Man, I do not know why people play the Grange. It's just not good. The upside of getting the +1/+1 counter is like so weak in a 2-color deck. Alright, so we have the Clockwork Servant, which is pretty good. We could play it out, draw a card, and use it to tap to pump the Redcap Raiders, which I think is probably good enough. We also have Redcap, leaves us mana to Redcap melee on the opponent's turn. If something comes up. I guess they didn't say please. Oh, they have Earnveil Tactician. Okay. I see. Play out the mountain. Swing in for 2. We can Sarkara next turn, which is pretty big game. Presumably our opponent will play the... Man, they're running so many of these tap lands. It's kind of mind-boggling. Play the 3/1 and a 2/1. Okay. Well, I think we just want to... Well, actually, they got 2 X1s. Sarkara is pretty good. I mean, if we just kind of hold down the fort, next turn we can ping off the Shepherd of the Flock and make some pretty decent attacks. I think that might be worth it. We have 2 other removal spells, so if we can just kind of like bide our time by 1 turn, we can make a really... Okay. Yeah. Playing a lot of those tap lands doesn't really impress. So I think we'll just go back in. I don't know what kind of deck they were, if they were supposed to be aggro or whether they were trying to make the game go long, but... Okay, so we have our 3 lands, which is good for Arena, it's good for our hand. We got a 2-drop and a 3-drop. Oh. So Golden Egg on turn 2. Play a Jousting Dummy on turn 2. Heraldic Banner. Okay, well, we'll swing in for 2 here. Play out the Brimstone Trebuchet. I see no reason to start. To wait on that 1 return. Okay. And I'm going to take a brief pause because Nathan locked himself out of the building. So we will return at a later time.